So I highly recommend. There's something going on right now called the Silver Tsunami, right? 11,000 baby boomers every single day are turning 65. Okay, that's 4.1 million baby boomers every year. Of that 4.1 million, I think they hold 21% of the population is baby boomers, with 41%. They own all 41% of all the real estate. So that's a big opportunity if you can see it this way, right?
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today we're joined by Chad King, multifamily investor with Titan Capital Group, overseeing more than $200 million in assets under management across Tennessee, including Chattanooga and Murfreesboro. He focuses on building a vertically integrated real estate operation, controlling key aspects of acquisitions, operations, execution, and so forth. His approach centers on scaling through systems, strong teams, and operational efficiency, driving long-term value in growing markets while maintaining disciplined deal execution. Chad, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much. That was a great intro.
Hey, man. Glad to have you on here. Now, when we talk about managing 200 million assets under management, oftentimes people don't talk about what it takes to get started. But at the ground level, what were those first couple years like?
The first couple years are a mixture of just failing forward, figuring it out, and calling audibles, learning from your mistakes, only making the same mistake once, and pressing forward. Definitely value having a mentor or coach, somebody in the beginning that saved me from some massive potholes. So always recommend getting an education. But the first couple years, you're head down, grinding, figuring it out. Whether it's buying commercial real estate or flipping houses, like whatever you're getting into, if it's buying commercial real estate, and you're just planting a lot of seeds. And I think that's the frustrating part, is like the first couple years, like not much comes to fruition. It takes a few, especially in commercial real estate space. Like it takes years for things to start to the fruits of your labor. And that's where people drop off.
Help paint the picture for us here. I mean, so multifamily is a very competitive space right now, but it's certainly changed over the years. And I think certainly people's time horizons might be different now. Also, the way that they're underwriting deals might be now different versus certainly how it was in like 2019. What years were you getting started, and what was the market like, and what was competition like when you were getting started?
Yeah, well, I was fortunate enough to be getting started in that massive upswing that we saw right before 2021, 2022, like in 2016, 17, and 18. We were flipping houses and then started buying apartment complexes. So we had a lot of like early exits. And I'm aware of the fact that, having an average, like a 26% IRR exit average, was really because in 2019, you could buy a candy bar and it doubled in value, 24 months. So I understand that that's the case. However, we still learned a lot of lessons from doing all those deals, and had a lot of disciplined underwriting to be able to match where we're at in the market cycle with the exit plan, and then match up and pair up the debt. Cause that's where you see a lot of people who have fallen off they got the wrong debt at the wrong time in the market
They
cycle.
did.
Yeah. So we're in a little bit of a recovery phase in the market, in my opinion. I think the valley is over. I don't ever think we'll see interest rates where we did at that apex that we were previously at in 21 and 22. However, aside from a little bit of chop due to socioeconomic conditions and global conflict, I think rates are coming back into tolerance. And now is going to be a really good time to lock in some long-term fixed rate debt on some good multifamily properties.
What does vertical integration look like at your level of scale? Everything from, I know you mentioned some trades companies to then even, self-managing some of these properties.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, so vertical integration at scale kind of looks like at a point you have enough in your portfolio to start incorporating the other verticals that talk to your portfolio into your business model. So for us, once we crossed over 1,000 units within a short, tiny radius, 5 mile radius, we were paying Roto-Rooter and HVAC combined north of $1 million a year in the portfolio just to service all of our apartment complexes. So it made a lot of sense to grab that cost and bring it in-house through vertical integration with HVAC and plumbing and even property maintenance. So now that revenue is able to run through us. The good news is we save our property LLCs. So the LLC that owns the property, they can save about 20 to 25% because we're doing the work at cost with our HVAC and plumbing company. And then we service residential homes outside of that in order to make profits for the business, because we still want the business to be profitable, be able
Yeah.
to, for a good EBITDA down the road. But in the meantime, we save our properties quite a bit, and not to mention the convenience of having all those trades, right here in the office, be able to dispatch if there's an emergency to your property. So our investors benefit, our properties benefit, and then ultimately we have a lot more control over the maintenance, the turns, the work orders, HVAC, and all the plumbing stuff. So everybody wins when you can vertically integrate, and it makes sense once you get to a certain point in the portfolio.
There seems to be a lot of interest in acquiring those type of businesses from folks both in real estate and outside of real estate. And
Yeah.
there's lots of chatter I see about, strategies to acquire, how you can acquire, what those conversations are like. Are those businesses even marketing themselves for sale or not? If you can, and I don't know how much you can divulge here, but what was the process like of buying, that HVAC business?
So I highly recommend. There's something going on right now called the Silver Tsunami, right? 11,000 baby boomers every single day are turning 65. Okay, that's 4.1 million baby boomers every year. Of that 4.1 million, I think they hold 21% of the population is baby boomers, with 41%. They own all 41% of all the real estate. So that's a big opportunity if you can see it this way, right? Every single year, you have roughly 750,000 baby boomers that own investment real estate turning 65 or older, right? And then they turn older every single year. Even if 20 to 30% of them have, apartment complexes, that's 250,000 people every year that are turning 65 that own these properties, and cash flowing businesses like HVAC companies, plumbing companies, these people who have started these companies in the 70s and the 80s. The kids don't want them. They don't want to inherit them. A lot of these folks, they don't know what to do with the business. They don't even know they have the idea of selling it based on some multiple. So there's a huge opportunity there. I call it the Silver Tsunami. And the Silver Tsunami is an opportunity for, people of any age, right?
Yeah.
To acquire, some of these businesses from these operators, owners, founders that are phasing out of the workforce and want to retire, whether it's an apartment complex or a business. I highly recommend getting in the game and being able to go ahead and go direct to sellers and direct to these owners and convey the benefits of working with, yourself directly, and potentially being the buyer of their business, being transparent, forthcoming, communicating effectively, and then, being able to potentially negotiate and close these transactions, because there's huge opportunity to buy some of these businesses before they close up shop, given if there's no kids that want to inherit or anything like that. So you got to
You
be in the game.
mentioned like closing, right? I think some of this is, I mean, people might not even realize that they have something that is sellable. I've heard this. It's not going to be the case carte blanche, right? But
Hmm.
sometimes people get to a certain age where they're just going to close shop and, that'll be the end of it, where
Yep.
it's a win-win because, hey, if I am looking, I've got this multifamily portfolio and I'm building at scale and I want to bring something in-house. If I have like an HVAC company that, hadn't really thought of selling, but was just going to close doors, bringing them their book of business, their team on board is truly a win-win. And I've also heard too that there's in some cases that owner operator can stay on for a certain period of time and stay kind of attached to the business at some level.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can buy the business with all sorts of creative financing. If you do some good education to some of these sellers, like we've bought businesses where, let's say we pay 400 grand and we give them 50 grand down, and then we give them 350 on an earnout based on them, working for 2 years, or they owner finance the 350 and get stipend and monthly payments, which is what they want. They want the security, not the lump sum that's going to be heavily taxed. So you just have to really understand what the goals are of the person is on the other side of the table, what they're trying to accomplish, what their pain points are, what their picture perfect scenario is. And then you can tailor your offer to that, because it's not always dumping a lump sum of money that they're going to go have to pay 30,
Right.
40% tax on, right? It can be a structured payment, owner finance. And then, yeah, there's definitely some earn out or some way that they can help transition. And a lot of them love to do that, because if you educated them on the fact that they don't have to shut their doors, their business continue operating, plus they can help pass the torch and watch it continue off into the sunset, man, that's a really powerful thing to be able to convey to a seller.
Now, when you have a real estate portfolio as large as you do, I'm imagining there's got to be a team behind this that is also growing as well. But now we're in the age of AI. So people are evaluating, well, what's necessary? What can I offload to some type of agentic
Mhm.
system? Are you looking at this as well and saying, how large do teams have to be? What can we do by creating, teams of teams? And what role does this new emerging technology play in your business right now?
I mean, it's a big question. I'm going to answer that given the time constraint, the way that I know how. So, the way that we're absolutely integrating AI into every aspect of our business. If you're not, you're getting left behind. It's making everything faster. It's making us more efficient. However, especially in the trades business, like, we are short good folks that want to work and that have skills, especially the ones in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, maintenance, being able to work with your hands and have that kind of experience. No, everybody in our office uses AI, to enhance themselves and make themselves more efficient. It's not something we shy away from. It has absolutely changed a little bit of the dynamic internally on the payroll. There's been a couple people that don't really have a seat on the bus anymore because of AI. However, there's been other seats that have been opened up because of it as well. So it's an absolutely a tool, and it is as good as the people who are using the tool. And I highly recommend that you use it. It's transforming the way that we operate. It's transforming the way that customers can interact with our businesses and how quickly we can respond. It's making everything more efficient. So, I definitely I see the pitfalls down in the future of what it could do to the workforce, and I'm aware of that because I have a lot of housing, especially workforce housing. So I'm keeping a very close eye on AI. But as far as using it in our business, we do it every day. But it won't replace the trades and the things that need to be done by people. And I'm in the people business at the end of the day.
Now, the trades specifically, uh, from what I understand, the average age of an electrician and a plumber is older than what a lot of people may realize. I've heard 40 plus, I've heard 50 plus. And, how much truth is there to that? You mentioned that there's a shortage. How great is that shortage? And are we seeing more people getting into those fields to where, that might even out in the future?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah, I'm actually curious that you said it, what the average age of a plumber in America is. Oh, 41 years old. Wow, you're right. Um, yeah, no, it's crazy. We are seeing definitely that I don't think those things will ever phase out, and we need more folks that are getting into the trades rather than going to college and getting worthless degrees. I think college is a huge scam for the most part. And when people go and take six figures in debt to get a piece of paper for a philosophy degree or something random, and then they're just struggling for the next 20 years of their life to battle out of that is horrible. And we need skilled people in our business more than ever. People don't want to work. They want handouts. They've seen that the government's willing to do handouts, so they're just waiting for more of those to come. A lot of them have the entitlement victim mentality I see in the workforce that's prevalent. So if you have any killer instinct right now, if you have the ability to lock in and get things done, if you have the ability to be a savage in the workforce and grow, and you want to deliver value and exchange, your value for money, you have an incredible ability to command a lot of income right now. But you have to go skill up first. And yeah, we're looking for folks, younger, people that are getting into these trades that want to, become a master electrician or a journeyman and be able to, really command. I mean, these guys can command six figures, multiple six figures sometimes if
Yeah.
they're really good, and there's always going to be a need for plumbing. There's always going to be a need for HVAC. I mean, housing is not going anywhere. So those trades have a really staple point in the market. And I don't even think robotics are going to be able to touch them.
Yeah, no, I mean, to your point, I think especially, in the hottest markets in the country, people, are commanding top dollar per hour, billable hour for plumbing, for electricians. I've even seen because of this, people even go to like handyman services or people with less certifications to fix some of these things. And I don't know if that's always the best, but there's certainly a place for that, certainly in the single family space.
Yeah.
Bonus question for you here, Chad. As someone who's scaled in the real estate game and in multifamily specifically, what's something that breaks at scale that most people might not expect?
What's something that breaks its scale that most people would not expect? That's a good question. Limiting beliefs. I know it's kind of a weird one, but limiting beliefs break at scale. And when you start to grow your business, you have to let go of some of the fears and some of the subconscious things that you've, maybe have been imprinted in you from a young
Yeah.
age that, money is evil, or that, all people who got wealthy and rich are greedy, and like some of the things that I think society puts into folks who have the desire to get rich and wealthy. And really what money is an amplifier of the heart. And when you have a lot of money, or if you're a good person, man, success is your duty and your obligation because of what you can then do with that wealth and how you can help other people and put food on other people's tables.
Yeah.
So I think there's limiting beliefs at scale that, like, you know, uh, I- you're going to have more problems, but you get paid in proportion to the difficulty of the problems that you solve. So when you can solve bigger problems, you get to make more money, create more wealth, and that ultimately is going to give you the freedom that I think most people are after. If you're listening to this podcast, it's probably because you want more out of life and you want to be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, for however long you want. And in order to obtain that freedom, you're going to have to scale something, right? And now I definitely don't recommend, you don't have to go get 2,000 units and have multiple businesses, but I do recommend that you focus on ownership of things, having equity in things, and equity that pays you, and having cash flow, both slow, fast, medium cash flow money, and trying to figure out those different buckets that can ultimately feed you so you don't have to continue to trade your time for money.
It's a great point. And I think most of the time people are confronted with kind of their reflection of how they view about money, what their preset beliefs are. And when you
Mm.
get to a certain point, you realize, like, hey, I can't continue to have this because it's creating like internal conflict. It's just
Oh, yeah.
not going to work. Like, you can only fake it till you make it so far, and then it has to become reality. And certainly, for folks who are going from, let's say, one segment, let's say, fix and flip into larger multifamily deals, you could potentially have that friction come up at some point. We are coming up on time here, Chad.
Mm.
Any new projects that you're working on? And then as well, what's the best way for folks to reach out to your team?
Yeah. Um, New projects that I'm working on. We close one in 7 days. I'm closing a 72 unit on April 8th. We have a 40 unit that just got awarded to us. We're on a pace to close about one deal a quarter on the multifamily side. So both those projects are here in Tennessee. So we got those two deals that are rolling. We're actively selling one now that we've been, pretty active for a while. We're kind of buying and selling assets and trading in and out of them constantly. So selling some of the older vintage, buying some newer stuff. So yeah, we got a couple deals going. We have a new fund that we launched for folks that want to get invested in the vertical integration of the platform, get invested in some of the deals, because capital is like our biggest constraint right now and our ability to say yes to the right ones. Because we have disciplined underwriting metrics, and we get now, we have a established in the market, so we see great opportunities really before anybody else, and the only thing that's preventing us from scaling is capital. So we're working on growing that aspect of the business. If anybody's interested in reaching out to us, you can follow me on Instagram at Mr. Chad King, Mr. Chad King. You can connect with me on Facebook, or you can go to our website and just fill out a form, book a call with Ronan, and have a chat with us.
Chad, thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate it, Dylan. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.